What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. I'm checking back in. Buddy Bets could not make it once again. We are back on Thursday and Sunday, breaking down two divisions. I think it's the NFC East and the NFC North. It's Thursday and Sunday. We will definitely let you guys know via Twitter on that. But what we're going to do tonight, basically go through 1 to 2 mock drafts, and then go over quarterback tiers and targets, and then running back tiers and targets. So I don't know if you guys have checked out the football guys. I use them thoroughly throughout the season. They're one of my big time go-tos. I know a lot of people have like a Fantasy Pros, whatnot, but these guys, or any Fantasy Labs, I use Fantasy Labs more for DFS. These guys for more season-long fantasy, best ball, anything like that. But no, the way to go with football. I love these guys, football guys. Shout out to them. So just going over. So I got a mock draft pulled up here. So it starts in about 2 minutes. I'm going from the 4th position. This is actually one of my first ones to go through. I'm in a redraft league, and I'm also in a keeper league. So I'm going to see who I can get here at the 4 position. Then if you guys have any other ones that you want me to go through, we can kind of see, if we just go through 10 picks and get out of there, we can do that. But yeah, I'll just be on here picking who I want to pick, and then I'll go through tiers once we get a little bit more viewers. We'll see how we go. At the 4 position, I'm thinking about getting one of the top 4 running backs. As you can see, it's running back heavy to start the draft. I think the first 8 picks could easily go running backs. You got CMC, Dalvin, Henry, Kamara, Taylor, Zeke, and Barkley, and then Chubb. So how usually it works, I probably end up getting Kamara here. Not pissed about it at all. I like him a lot this year. He's actually one of my keepers. He's been my keeper since pretty much that second week where I picked him up off the waivers when I saw him play, and he just absolutely dominated. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, concerns, anything fantasy football wise, throw it in the chat. I'll be here probably an hour or so, going through a couple mock drafts, and then going through the tiers and what pretty much whoever I want to target, when I want to target during the drafts. So let's get at it. We get this draft going in about 20 seconds or so, and then we'll see what we can come and get. My initial strategies when it comes to fantasy football is to not draft a quarterback early, wait on quarterbacks and tight ends, fill up with running backs and receivers. That's it's kind of gone back and forth with. Hopefully I can turn that damn thing off. There you go. I've kind of gone back and forth with the QBs late. So you can get QBs. Who did he take? He just take Dalvin. All right. Yeah, he just took Dalvin. Yikes. Dalvin over CMC. Bold move. But no, initially I usually always wait on QBs. Wait on tight ends and QBs. This year, I might go a little bit different since there's so many dual quarterbacks this year. So actually, Kamara just got picked. So if I get CMC here at 4, okay, so CMC went. I'm going to obviously go Henry here. Taylor is coming through. What is this scuffed BS? Oh, I was like, what? What the heck's going on? No, the Dalvin pick. Yeah, I don't get Weezy. The fact that CMC didn't go first overall, he went 3, absolutely blows my mind. Blows my mind. I'm thinking, Weezy, I thought you were talking about my stream. Thought it was going in and out or something. All right, so we got Henry. So next time around, You got to be thinking stud receiver. That will never happen, CMC 3. I agree. No shot in the world that someone gets CMC at 3. Uh, Only thing about these mock drafts, Wheezy, is sometimes people are in keeper leagues, and so like that guy once goes 1 overall and he has Dalvin, so he picks Dalvin. So it's not always true, but it's just nice to see where people where people are picking people and who reaches for who and whatnot. So we got Chubb, Taylor, Chubb, Elliott, Tyreek, and Barkley have gone. True. I don't think of that because keepers below donkey. Yeah, you're not a big fan of keepers. I love it. I think you can build around keepers. That's why I like the fact it's not so year to year. You can kind of definitely build around. Like you can have 2 stud young running backs and be set for a while. That's kind of why I like it. Or 2 stud receivers. Jones. See, Jones is going in the top 11. His draft stock is definitely going to keep going up. Being in that offense now that Rodgers is back for sure. One last hurrah. So I like him a lot this year as well. Kelsey going 12. Gibby. Love Antonio Gibson this year. Absolutely love him. If you can get him, grab him as soon as possible. He's going top 15. I've seen the farthest I've seen him drop is about 20. Then you got Metcalf just left. So we're sitting on Henry. I mean, if we can get Jefferson or DeAndre, hell, if Ridley goes to us, Gibb is a flex. Can't draft that scrub early. I think he's fringe RB1. He's fringe RB1, but he can. I would love him in my RB2 this year. Absolutely love him there. But he's got potential to be a stud this year. Eckler is a beast. Eckler is my if if he falls to me here, I'm gonna absolutely love it. Because everybody's going receivers now. So they just went Metcalf, Ridley. How is Najee Harris going off the board before Eckler? That's amazing. Please let Eckler fall to me. Eckler or Jefferson. Eckler or Jefferson. Eckler or Jefferson. Come on, baby. Everybody just joined the chat. Let me know what position you guys are drafting in. I'm going from the 4th position, so I'm currently picking Henry. This draft has been a little upside down. CMC went 3. And Eckler just damn went. Brown, Jefferson, Hopkins. It's tough not to pick Hopkins here. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Diop over Jeff. This pick 4. I'm gonna trust my gut here and go Jefferson. Yeah, Stanton. This is the 4th pick, but so that was my 2nd round. So I got Henry and then I got Jefferson, and this is just standard. So yeah, I did go Jefferson. Standard is garbage. You can't be. I mean, you can kind of draft however you view it. I'm drafting out of a standard league though. But no, I viewed Jefferson a little bit higher than Hopkins. Hopkins is still a damn beast though. We're coming back here. You can double up with the receiver, but some might go quarterback. Patrick Mahomes. Keenan Allen's a beast. Who's your boy, Weezy? Oh, CeeDee Lamb, huh? Keenan. Oh, Keenan Allen. There you go. Yeah, he's all-time beast. All-time beast. Yeah, I'm gonna go receiver if I can get. Oh, Keenan Allen just went. See, now you're on the risk of not having a stud receiver. See, but there's 2 receiving spots, and then there's a flex. So probably here I'm going to go running back. Even though Montgomery is not my favorite, Sanders has potential this season. Chris Carson's a beast when healthy, and then DeAndre Swift. So you got four options here. You know, they would tell me to take Allen or Montgomery. I just am not that high on the Bears offense, so I'm going to draft Miles Sanders. I know you're probably going to beat me up for that. I'm high on him this year. I am keeping him in another league, but when he gets touches, he's going to be good. And I think he's going to get a lot of touches this year. I know he's got Kerryon Johnson there. I know they got Mal. No, it's not Brown. There's one more person there. And I still think he's going to be a beast. At least I hope. We'll see. Take receiver and get Gaskin next round. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Your boy. Go Dolphins. I don't pick for a little bit. These running backs are like without the top 8. I mean, if you're drafting 10, probably 9 through 12 this year, you might be lucky and get a Zeke or a Barkley because somebody passes up on them. But usually, if you're top 8, you're not gonna. If you're not top 8, you shouldn't. You're probably gonna be fighting to find an elite running back. You got to find some good value in this draft. It's very, very running back heavy. Fortunately, in the keeper league that I'm in, there's a buttload of them still that are going in the first round here that are going in our technically third round, which is pretty cool. Wheezy, I just don't view him as an absolute workhorse. I need to have the horses. Who, Wheezy? You talking about Miles? Sanders, yeah. It's a guy that you're taking a chance on and hoping it pays off. And his ADP is very, very high. He's projected over 1,000 rush yards. And only thing I'm concerned about is in a standard or a half-point PPR league is Hurts taking away some of those rushing touchdowns on the goal line, and then Kerryon coming on. I got to find out who that other damn running back is. Somebody tell me that in the chat. But that's the only issue I have. I think he's going to get his yards. He definitely needs to get in the end zone a little bit more. Patty Mahomes is still around. There he goes. I was going to say. Stanton, you think he's going to catch a lot more balls than him? Howard. There it is, Weezy. Thank you. Thank you. Needed that. So this is the tier of the draft in the third or fourth round here where there's so many stud secondary receivers. So you're looking at Evans, you're looking at Cooper, Woods, Julio, Cooper, DJ Moore. You cannot rule out DJ Moore. Lockett, Thielen. I mean, those are those are wide receiver ones. 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and now they're dropping into that wide receiver 2 category, which I still think a lot of them have upside. So this is the part of the draft where that's why I like going after running backs and then waiting on these particular receivers. I mean, out of the 3, I would think he catches the most balls. I would think so too. There's not that. Is it Boston Scott? I don't know if he's still there. He was catching a shit ton of balls from last year. They also had Carson Wentz, who absolutely blew. So, yeah. So here, out of this, if I'm targeting, I'm either getting Woods, Kupp, or Lockett or Thielen. I'm falling out of DJ Moore, and I'm falling out of Kyle. Probably kill me, but out of Cooper. I just think that's too many heads to feed in that offense. I want somebody that's going to get a little bit more target. So Woods is gone. Smart move there. Boston Scott's still there? Shit. Lockett is 30 or 5. Wheezy, telling you, don't sleep on him this year. Don't sleep on him. Everybody's talking about Metcalf. Lockett out-targeted him last year. The hype is around Metcalf. The points are by Lockett. So there goes Cooper. All right. So in Woods. So now, I mean, I love Cooper Cup. Your boy's telling me to take Gaskins. To get a receiver, I like Cup here. You could go DJ Moore. I like the fact that Cup to Stafford is going to be, or Cup to Woods is going to be very, very prevalent this year. So I'm going Cup. So we got our core right here. We got Jefferson, we got Cup, we got Henry, and Sanders. So as like I said before, I usually go running backs. I usually go receivers. Then, boom, you have a solid foundation to build around. Some people like to go early and get a tight end, go and get a QB. Sometimes I like to do that. Majority of the time, unless it just falls to me, I stack the running backs and receivers. So here, so this is the point in the draft where you can get Kyler Murray. Do you want to though? Do you think he's going to be that good? He was wide receiver. He was wide receiver. Shoot. No. He was quarterback one for like the longest time. I think week 12. Who were the top 3 picks? You would have loved it. It was Cook, Kamara, then CMC, and then I got Henry. More than likely, in a lot of leagues, you're going to get Kamara. I mean, so here, I either get Murray, and then I'm good with quarterback. Oh, okay, you got Thielen. So I get Murray, and I'm good with quarterback, or you get a little bit more depth. You get your flex position. I'm gonna take a flyer here. I love Kyler Murray this year, so I'm gonna go Murray in the 5th round. I think his dual threat puts him above a lot of the other quarterbacks. So I'm gonna take Murray here. I know it's a little bit more of a gamble. You could get some of the similar output from a quarterback back in the draft. For this specific draft, I'm going Murray, just to see how it plays out long term. But otherwise, so like now I'm sitting here going back to running backs and receivers. Unless a tight end falls to me that I think I have to take, I'm going to go running back or receiver. Then you get a little bit more depth. But that's that pivotal point in that draft where you're like, okay, do I go get a quarterback or do I wait? Do I go get more depth or do I wait? So I could have gotten, if Thielen would have dropped to me, I probably would have went Thielen. Probably Thielen or more. If they would have dropped to me, I probably would have went them. But since I didn't get them, I ultimately went with Kyler Murray. Stanton, love Murray, running back. Yeah, running back that can throw, exactly. And he doesn't have a hurt shoulder. He is getting talked about probably just like Josh Allen. He was that good last year. And, I mean, he's got people to throw to. I mean, he's got Hopkins, he's got A.J. Green. Plenty of Kirk. So he's got plenty of offense to go for. So I'm very, very high on Kyler Murray this year. If you can drop and get him, but there's also a couple other quarterbacks Dak I'm pretty high on as well. I think he's going to I just think he's going to be a little bit more hesitant this year. I've heard a couple quotes from him this training camp that says, I got to be smart, got to pick my spots. He's definitely going to go for 4th and 1 goal lines. He might take away some from Zeke, but to get those chunk yards, Murray's going to get those over Prescott. That's why I like Murray there. So yeah, now you're seeing the Gallaudays, the OBJs, kind of a little more risky guys coming off injuries. Sutton coming back, Juju off a bad year. So these are in that wide receiver 3 fringe, wide receiver 2. You got Jamar Chase, who's got a lot of upside. If you're in a keeper league, definitely could try to go get him. As someone just took him off the board, damn you. But no, Part of me loves OBJ this year. Part of me hates him. I just think he can perform up to what he did last year until he got hurt. He had that big game against Dallas, but for a season long, I'm probably going to pass on him this year though. Just don't know how long he can hold up. A lot of mouths to feed, and I think the Browns want to run the ball first and get their running backs going. Then I think Galladay is I wouldn't say a sleeper because he's been a beast with Stafford for the longest time. He's just in a new offense that there's a lot of reward you can get with him if you want to, if you can handle taking him and saying, hey, he's my wide receiver 3, and hope to God he can get back to being a number 1 receiver or at least a number 2. But that'd be a big step up for those Giants. So we'll see if he can flourish. He's dropped in the 70s. So it's right around this pick that I got at 69. Nice. So we'll see if he drops to me. I'll probably take him. Brandon Ayuk though, absolutely electric. Absolutely electric. We're projecting him. So Galladay a little bit more touchdowns, and then they got Ayuk a little bit more rushing yards since he does those end rounds. There goes Ayuk. Those damn San Fran end rounds. That's what they always do. Wilson's going. So yeah, I'm gonna take a chance here on Galladay. Probably. So we got Chase, Boyd, Higgins. How are you handling that trio? I feel like they are all the same. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take Galladay on a limb, hoping he gets back to that. Like I said, it's just depth right now. He's in my flex spot, so we'll see. Chase, Boyd, Higgins. All right, damn. They really are the same. I'm ranking them. Boyd, Higgins, Chase, off of seniority, basically right now, until I see it. But I love me some T. Higgins this year. I think Boyd's the safer pick, and then I just don't know what the hell is going to be from Jamar Chase. So that's probably why. That's where I land. That's tough though. Those three are going to be good. So again, I'm going to go running back here. Let's see where we're at. I don't like Melvin Gordon this year. Can screw around. Fournette is always a beast. Damian Harris, no, he just went. Not really a big fan of him. In two running back leagues, you don't have to force this pick if you like a receiver. So like if OBJ falls right here, I'm going to get him. Even though I just talked about him and Galladay being brisk, I think if they fall below their ADP to you, you take them. Obviously, you're not going to go get them. But if they fall to you, I think you take them. Hassel just took OBJ. Robbie Anderson, Cortland Sutton, Juju, Jalen Hurts, Raheem Mostert. God, Mostert's so damn good whenever he gets there. I'm gonna go Sutton here. Nope. Juju. Depth on the receiving side. Then come back with a running back. Then in between mocks, what we'll do is we'll go over QB targets and tiers, and then we'll go over running back targets and tiers. I got that loaded up. So your boy Tua's on the cover, Stanton. We'll go over some rankings that Football Guys got. Like I said, Football Guys is where I do a bunch of my pre-draft research. They have this draft dominator. So for you guys, you have a soft spot. I do, man. feel like he's like my son. Him and Kamara both. I'm just like, I just see so much potential in Juju, and apparently he's lining up on the outside. So I'm higher than most on Juju. A lot of people like to talk about Deontay. A lot of people talk about Claypool. I'm still riding with my boy Juju over them. So ride or die. But damn, you're right. I do have a soft spot. But no, for you guys who are in keeper leagues and you guys want to have a customized draft, they have this draft dominator, and you can customize anything that you want. So I got my two keepers in here. You go through your entire league, set it with your draft settings. It's absolutely phenomenal. I know a lot. This is the first one that I've ever found like this, and I felt like I had such an advantage over the rest of the guys in my league. And then I never told them about it. And then now, years later, like Fantasy Pros comes around and has it, and they're all talking about it. I'm like, damn. I had that before them, I feel like. Maybe they just didn't tell me as well that they had it, but I felt like I had it before them. But no, it's absolutely a game changer. You can do it a countless amount of times and see exactly where you can get guys. And then obviously you get in the draft and you can do it live with you as you're drafting. And then they'll tell you, hey, this is who you should pick. This is who I think you should pick. So it's just like doing a mock draft, but live, and you have all the stats right there in front of you. It's a no-brainer to have. I think right now it's like $69.75 for the whole year. So I think it's a no-brainer. I pay for it every year. All right, so we got Murray, Jefferson, Kupp, Henry, Sanders, Galladay, and Juju. So we need some running backs. These two old farts right here. Probably going to take a chance on AJ Dillon here. I think he has a chance to be given. I mean, it's a nice handcuff. Probably one of the better handcuffs in the league. And as a depth position here, I think you can go get him. David Johnson will be like horrible. He's in a horrible offense. Melvin Gordon is getting split backfields. Not a fan of that. But A.J. Dillon, he could potentially take over a very, very good spot if Aaron Jones ever gets hurt. So it's just more of a depth thing here. You know, you could take him over Fuller, over Cooks, over Chark. Like I said, I got enough receivers right now. So I'm going to go A.J. Dillon. You could go Zach Moss. I prefer Zach Moss over Singletary. But I'm going to yes, you just what's up, man? He said Devin Singletary will have a really high upside this year if healthy. So I literally just talked about Zach Moss. He's been going higher than Singletary based on basically he can get in the end zone a little bit more and he runs a little bit harder. But no, the upside, I agree with you there. It is 100% there with Singletary. He should have ran away with the backfield last year when Zach Moss wasn't there. But then as soon as Zach Moss came back, he was there. He kept touching the football, kept being around. And Zach is going farther or going higher in drafts than Singletary. So if you're a guy that says, hey, I want to get Singletary, you can wait on him for sure. Definitely wait on him. So running backs are still a little thin. So I could end up going, but then you got to worry about tight ends. But I love punting the tight end position. Unless you can get, obviously, the top of the top, Waller, Kelsey, or Kittle. If you get one of those three, obviously get them. But if you don't, I love waiting. I mean, you look down here, if you just look for tight ends. So who's the tight end? Gesicki, Smith, Hooper, Jonnu, Ingram, Henry. Like all these guys are still there. So you have time to get your depth that you basically need to win a damn season. Because injuries happen, especially this year. COVID is going to happen again. It's just part of it. So just brace for it and get all the depth you can get. But no, I'm gonna go back to running back here, and Zach Moss already went, so that was my target. You could go another handcuff with Pollard. Melvin not or falling to me here is worth it in my opinion. It's just it's such a risk. I'm not going to do it. So luckily he got picked before me. Good. Kenyon Drake, he could be something. Gus Edwards, like these aren't like legit options back here. These are mainly depth at this point that you're hoping maybe Latavius Murray is not a bad one, especially if you have Kamara. But I'm gonna go Pollard. Oh, I picked too late. Screw you. Are you kidding me? All right, I went Pollard. So I got Pollard, not Gesicki. I'll kill myself. You kidding me with that? I waited too long analyzing it. How's the bets doing? How are we doing baseball wise? Took the over in the Orioles. I took the Phillies. They're tied. On pace. On pace in the baseball game. The Yankees. There's so many heavy favorites today. Man, so many heavy favorites. And they're all losing. Don't you love that? All right. So, all right, we got Gesicki. We'll ride with that. So now we definitely got to get a running back at the turn here in round 10. I'm not a big fan of getting backup quarterbacks either throughout the draft. You can stream those if you need it for a bye week. I'd rather have a little bit more depth. I'm not even a fan of double tight ends, but if a guy falls to you and you like him, you can. But I just love piling up running backs and receivers that have high upside, who have potential to be guys on their team and go from there. That's why I was going to take Pollard there. Pollard, in my opinion, could be one of the. I mean, he's going to be splitting some of that backfield with Zeke just because of the way he runs. So I think he's got a great opportunity. Maybe I'm a homer, but I do love me some Matt Stafford. So if you have not taken a quarterback in this draft yet, if you are a wait on a quarterback drafter, Stafford late in the 10th round. You got Tannehill here still. You got Kirk Cousins still. Matt Ryan, he'll be in a bunch of throwable situations. So definitely you can wait on a quarterback this year. It's just I value the dual threat a little bit more. So, but as you can see, I've given up a lot of running back depth because I could have got another running back stud and then had Matt Stafford, and Matt Stafford could potentially run some here and there, and he could get a dual threat down the road. But ultimately, I went Kyler Murray, and you can see from here. I mean, you still got Fitzpatrick, still got Baker. There's a lot left quarterback wise if you wait, but value the dual threat a little bit more. But I mean, if Tony Pollard's still here at 117, I'm taking him 100%. Let me know how many fantasy leagues you guys play. I'm in 2. I can't do more than 2. If I do that, I'm all over the place. I'm rooting for everybody. See, like a kicker just got drafted. Like, what the hell? Joe's still on the board. You talking about Joe Burrow? Like, Tampa Bay's defense just got picked. So, like, sometimes these mock drafts don't really paint a picture. You just kind of get an idea. It's like Greg the Leg just went. Like, who the hell is taking a kicker in the 10th round? Not I. Joe. I was gonna say that to you, but I didn't want to say that. All right, so we still got Pollard, and I'm gonna take Pollard here. Another guy who could be a very, very big beast. You could do Singletary. He's gonna get probably somewhat the same. They're pretty much the same. I'm gonna go Pollard. So I got 4 running backs, and I got 4 receivers with 3 bench spots left. So basically, you can pick high upside guys. Single is trash. Just likes him. Just says he's going to be something this year. So these are those receivers who did pretty well last year. I mean, you got Fuller could have a big game. How long is he suspended for? 1 game? Yeah. So one game he misses. So if you can draft him late, grab him. I love the guy who just went, Antonio Brown. I was such a big hater on him last year. And he absolutely shut me the hell up. Mike Williams, kind of sneaky beast. Wheezy, hell yeah. I took a future on him today. If you want that, you got to get in the Discord. Wheezy knows about it. Wheezy knows what it is. Took a future on Mike Williams. Love him this year. Fuller just went. I'm gonna go with him here. I really, really wish I could have got Murray there. But I mean, I could take another handcuff. You can go Madison here, but let's go Mikey Williams. I think Mikey Williams, just like Weezy said, the beast, sneaky beast, touchdown beast this year at that. I wouldn't even say he gets a bunch of deep balls, which he will, but I think he's going to score touchdowns. So it'd be a big, big red zone target. But yeah, so Stafford just won the 11th round. So if you want to wait on a quarterback, wait on a quarterback. You have plenty of opportunity to. Well, I would say one thing right here that I wish I did. I wish I hit another running back before I picked Galladay. I think I should have taken a running back in that slot. But I still like my team right here. Yeah, see, look at all these tight ends that are still left. I mean, you got Hooper, Ingram, Hunter Henry. Furskers all right. I mean, so you still got some tight ends if you're waiting on tight end. Which two of my big keys here, you can wait on quarterback and you wait on tight ends. Unless you have the ability to, unless you have a high pick and you can get Mahomes and you can get Kelsey, you can get Lamar Jackson, you can get Murray. But those are the guys. Dual threat quarterbacks are okay to reach on. If you can't get those, it's okay. You can definitely get some deep round quarterback depth or value for sure. Let's see if I can get one more running back. Marvin Jones with the Jags now just went. So here you could go Madison to get another handcuff. Actually, he just went. Let's see what running backs are left. McKissick, Penny, Mack, White. I mean, these are some reached, really reach um, running backs who might get on some bye weeks for you, maybe. I mean, Mac has the potential to do something. So I'm going to go probably McKissick here because he's going to get some receiving. And the way he ran last year with Gibson, I think that offense has a little bit more potential this season with Fitzpatrick there. And he definitely has a role. So that's why I'm going to go. I'm going to go McKissick here. And then round it out. So I don't even know if this is like need to be said, but I always do kickers and defense last. Always. I don't see the benefit. I really don't see the benefit. You stream. I stream defense all the time, every single time throughout the season. So another. I could round out my tight end position and get a Hunter Henry here. You could get a Austin Hooper here. You can get Ingram here. I like my depth at my positions, my running backs and receivers, so I'm going to go do that. So whoever falls to me, I'm going to end up going that route. And then I'll exit out of this one, and then we'll go through a later. We'll go through like a 10th round pick. So someone who's not in the top 8, where you don't get those running backs. I want to see how that one falls, and maybe since you don't get those top end running backs, you go and get a Mahomes, you go and get a Lamar, as you are trying to make up for not having running backs on your team by getting a dual threat quarterback. So I want to see how that goes. We'll go over some tiers, but we got one more pick, and then I'll get out of here with this mock draft. Wheezy's still rocking with us. Love to see it. Where's Justin tonight? What the heck? He's supposed to be here. Must be working out at the gym. All right, then receivers. Oh, Pittman. Pittman. No, I'm going to go tight end. Tight end. I had Ingram last year, and I hated him. He dropped so many. I'm going to go Hunter Henry. Let's do it. All right. So I ended up Murray, Jefferson, Kupp, Henry, Sanders. I didn't want Gesicki. I waited too long. Galladay, Juju, Dillon, Pollard, Mike Williams, McKissick, and Henry. Not terrible. Like I said, I ended up still getting Pollard, so it could have been pretty similar to what I was going to do. Absolutely love this team, though. And I know a lot of people make a big ordeal about bye weeks. I think it's very minimal, unless it's like every single person on your team. But I don't like to pay attention to bye weeks as I'm drafting. Very little difference does it make, obviously, unless it's pretty drastic. But I'm going to get up out of this mock draft here. Let's go over some tiers with running backs. So this will be through football guys. I'm just going right down their list. I think Sigmund, yeah. So Bloom, great rider for him. So these are the 5 quarterbacks that you can reach for, which I just showed you. You can do Mahomes. So they rate Murray a little bit higher than Allen, Jackson, and Prescott. They say avoid Mahomes at his ADP. Target Dak and Lamar. I would probably say target Murray over Dak, simply because Murray is going to be elusive this year, just like he was last year until he got hurt. So there's always that factor into it. But Dak, with that ankle injury, is just not going to be as an effective runner this year. He's still going to pass the shit out of the ball, and he's got a lot of weapons on his team. So I do obviously, like Dak. Just if you, I'm gonna pay up for Kyler instead of Dak. Lamar's Lamar. I just wish he could throw. That's why I like Murray over him, because Murray throws on top of runs, but Lamar obviously can change the game with just his feet. So in this next draft that we do, if I do get a wide receiver and I can't get that running back that I want, Lamar might be my RB1, but he's in my QB position. So you gotta kind of play it like that. That's just a different way to do it. But those are the top 5 guys right there, easily, hands down. If you guys can get one of these 5, do it. And then these are the ones. So strong QB ones here. You got Russell, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Stafford, and Herbert. So if you drafted middle of the summer and with all this Aaron Rodgers hoopla, you probably stole him in the draft. Maybe he might have been even your quarterback too, because maybe nobody wanted to take him. But other than that, I don't see a problem with taking him this year. He's going to have that last dance mentality, and him and Adams should ball out. The Packers have won countless. I mean, I think they won 26 games the last 2 years. I think it's the most in the NFC without having reached the Super Bowl. But I'm not afraid of Aaron Rodgers this year. I'm not going to target Tom Brady as much. I'm not saying last year was a fluke whatsoever. There's a lot of good stuff that can happen still in that office. It's just I'm higher on a little bit other guys like Russell, like Stafford, and like Herbert. Like you saw, Stafford out of this group is going last. So Stafford's available 10th through 12th round. So no quarterback first, you go get Stafford. You wait till you get Stafford late. Russell is going to go a little bit early. He's just outside that top five because he just doesn't run as much, not as mobile as he once was. Still an elite passer with Lockett, with Metcalf there, and he utilizes his tight ends just about as good as anybody. But then you got Herbert, and Herbert, reigning Rookie of the Year, can absolutely be a beast. So I expect him to do very, very well as well. So out of this group, I'd probably rank it Rodgers, Wilson, Stafford, Herbert, Brady. But it's kind of who you like yourselves as well. That's how I like it. I mean, some people maybe love Tom Brady a little bit more than me. As a fantasy quarterback, I'm just not attracted to him. Obviously, very good-looking man, and I love the competitor I love the winner he is, but just as a fantasy quarterback, I always caution. Here's the wild cards. You got the Hurts, Jalen Hurts and Deshaun Watson. Who the hell knows if Deshaun's even going to play this year? I'm staying far away from Deshaun. If Jalen Hurts landed to me, he could potentially be in that top five with the dual quarterback role. I just haven't seen it, so it's tough for me to reach on him. I'm gonna wait and see. Maybe I'll bite my tongue, but I don't see him being as aggressive as the top five running the football. So I'm probably staying away from these two. These are guys that obviously Wentz now is untouchable. Don't even think about getting him. And maybe if you have a spot on your roster late in the draft, you can go get him. Tannehill is intriguing with the offense that he's got. He's pretty much fail-proof at his offense because he's got Julio, he's got AJ Brown, Fisker, Henry. I mean, he's going to get his this year, but he's a guy that I saw in that draft that was with Stafford, so you can wait on him. And Fitzpatrick, you can wait on him. Lawrence, probably not touch. I'd probably out of this group touch Fitzpatrick or Tannehill. Joe Burrow, or Weezy likes to say Joe Mama. High floor here. He could potentially be very, very good. Depends on how he reacts to game flow after absolutely obliterating his knee. So I'm cautious with Joe Burrow. I don't mind if you take Burrow. I just don't think there's better options right now. Next year, I'm probably saying let's target Joe Burrow. Maybe halfway through the season after he explodes, you might want to target him, pick him up off the waiver if he has not been drafted. But I think next year. I think next year is the year. And these two right here, man, I agree with this article a lot. Good things come to those who wait. If you have a flyer, if you want to go and wait and say, hey, I'm going to throw these guys in in my bench and hope and pray whenever Fields gets on there and whenever Lance gets on there and absolutely takes the team and runs with them, I'm 100% okay with doing that. So as you could see, back when we were doing our mock draft, instead of taking another running back or a wide receiver, you plant one of these two on your bench and you say, "Hey, I'm keeping him there. I'm waiting for him to be a stud." That's if you're. I think that's if you're waiting for a quarterback, or if you're in a maybe dynasty league, if you're in uh, a keeper league potentially, where you don't have to give up that pick. But ultimately, these guys are not going to start the year being their team's quarterback, but could end the year being the beast that they were drafted to be. So these guys, I'm not touching whatsoever. Just Kirk, in a streaming sense, he always has those big games. He's got a lot around him. He's got Dalvin, he's got Thielen, he's got Jefferson. So he's got a lot around him. I just don't like him consistently to enough to put in my lineup. Matt Ryan, like I said before, you could essentially be a good fantasy quarterback just because you'll be down a lot. Then you got Big Ben. Big Ben's still, I think he's going to sneak in there. I'm very, very high on this Pittsburgh team. I'm not even a fan of Pittsburgh, but I can't ever count Big Ben out because they'll have humongous performances week after week because he slings the ball 50 times. I don't think he gets there as much this year with Najee. I think they'll run him a little bit more, but still a guy that you got to kind of consider at the back end. Baker, I think they're a run first team, and Derek Carr. Those two just don't get me going really, to the extent where I want to take a pick on them. I'll probably wait and see. And then these are some rookies. Tua's a wild card for me this year. I hate the fact that he checked down so much last year, but I think he lets it go a lot more. And you got Zach Wilson. I'm not touching him. I'm not touching Sam. Just new offenses, tough to get acclimated right away. But Daniel Jones is, how do I say this? Is QB1 potentially ready? I want to see it. He has some wheels on him. He can run. And this offense does end up getting a good receiver in Galladay. It's a wait and see for me, but I still think this guy can be very, very good for the Giants. He's one of the guys that probably I'm probably the highest in this group. I'm definitely the highest in this group on. I'm not touching Cam Newton. I'm not touching Bridgewater. I'm not touching Winston. Goff, I'm not touching. Hill. I loved him last year when I could put him in my tight end position, but no, not. Yeah, everybody else is kind of. That's how I view the quarterback position this year. Let's see if I can find the running backs. Running back tiers. Here we go. All right, running back tiers. All right, gold standard. All right, so this is why I was very, very stunned when CMC dropped, because I don't know how the hell he ever drops in one of those leagues. Like I said, it must have been whenever he was, must have been a keeper league. Just a second. Okay. All right, so gold standard. We'll do this really quick. And then, I don't even know what's going on. All right, CMC and Dalvin. I would probably put Henry up here as well in the gold standard. Kamara is just a little bit. He's not even a wild card this year. His offense is going to be completely different. Who knows who's going to be quarterback? You got Thomas on the injured list for 5 weeks, and that usually, that spikes his usage up in the receiving end. But how many touchdowns can he get? He had an astronomical amount of touchdowns last year. 6 in that 5 or 6 in that one game. He scares me a bit, but I think overall he's going to be the centerpiece of that offense once again. So you can't not take him if he falls to you. But McCaffrey and Cook take the bell here. Then Henry and Kamara. I would not put Zeke here. I still do like him. I think Pollard gets a little bit more run than people think this year. These two, oh my goodness. These two right here are beast mode central. I know that they kind of split their backfields with Chubb and Hunt, but Chubb just got paid. I mean, they're going to feed him forcefully. Eckler, if you're in PPR leagues, has been a PPR god for as long as I can remember. So you cannot go wrong if you go these two. And then this next group, so Barkley and Taylor kind of lead the pack here. Barkley, they're telling you to avoid. I don't mind avoiding him here just because of the uncertainty, but you gotta think he's going to be okay. And if you can get a beast like Barkley late in the rounds, maybe drops in the second round, you got to take him. 100% you got to take him. Antonio Gibson's another guy I'm very, very high on. Taylor is a guy you got to wait and see how his ADP fluctuates now that Wentz is out. So we'll see how that happens. I think it shoots up because people think he's going to be, what do you say? I mean, stack the box or whatnot. I'm avoiding Taylor as of right now. Talk to me at the end of August. I'll probably tell you he's great. Gibby, great. Jones, great. Mixon, if you guys haven't been on the streams, I'm extremely high on Joe Mixon this year. Offense is great. I think they can be a balanced offense. So I took him over 995 or 990 rush yards this year. Put 2 units on that, so that's my biggest future so far. Like I said, I do have a Michael Williams one, but you got to join the Discord for that one. Najee Harris is a beast, will be a beast. Tomlin absolutely will feed him. So if you need a keeper, go get him. Chris Carson, another guy who always runs the ball hard. So that's why he does get hurt. But in an offense with Russell Wilson and a guy that you can easily get late in the draft, you got to go get Chris Carson. The fact that you can still get Carson late second, late third, got to go get him. Hilaire is going to be a beast this year. Dobbins, I'm not as high as in this group. I mean, Swift just pisses me off because that offense is just going to be, it's not going to be the greatest. Hilaire, Dobbins, and Swift for me here. Dobbins just scares me with Lamar and Gus still in the picture. So the clear workhorse here, I would say, is Clyde. He's going to get a lot of passing game. He's going to get in the run game. But Montgomery, Sanders, Henderson, Davis, Gaskins, these guys are all the same guy, really. Guys that are just waiting to be RB1s, but can't because of lack of talent, lack of offensive line, whatnot. Montgomery had this chance. I mean, he was RB4 last year, given his second half, but there's so many times he just ran to a brick wall that it just pissed me off. So this is a guy that you still can target. I'd probably put him in the 1 or 2 range here. I'd probably put Sanders up top and Sanders in the 2 or 3. Then Davis and Gaskins last. Davis just doesn't excite me. Gaskins is a guy that you can target later on as well. Some rookies. Javonte Williams is probably the number one rookie that a lot of people are talking about besides Travis. I think it's Etienne. Sermon will be good. There's just a crowded backfield there. And I don't know how much the Jags trust James Robinson. after that kind of, I wouldn't say a fluke year, but he ran off his ass. So we'll see if he can do it again. But you don't draft a running back in the first round if you don't think he's going to play a lot. So Etienne and then Williamson for me right here in this group. And these guys say boring RB2s. I don't think Kareem Hunt's boring whatsoever. I think if you can get Kareem Hunt, you play him every single week, that Cleveland Brown offense is going to be studly. It's going to be great, in my opinion. So I like Hunt. He has a role in this offense. So we're going to go get him. I'm not even touching Josh Jacobs. Even if he falls to me in like the 13th round, I'm not touching him. I don't like him as a runner. I don't like that offense that is put around him. You got Drake there now. Just not gonna touch that. I'm not a big fan of the Raiders offense this year, unless you're Darren Waller. The only one I'm touching. So these are the flex ones: Edmonds, Harris, Zach Moss, Michael Carter. A lot of people like Moss. Yes, like Devin Singletary. I'm a big Moss guy this year, I think. And then these league winners, like I said, if you're waiting on running backs and you're trying to handcuff, these are your three guys. One of these three right here: Pollard, Dillon, and Murray. If you get the chance, stash one of these. If you have Jones, if you have Zeke, if you have Kamara, it's not a bad idea late in the draft to grab one of these guys just in case, just to grab some insurance for you. And these guys I'm not really targeting as much with the running back by committee. So passing down guys, if you guys are PPR leagues, these guys are always relevant. So McKissick, I took him in the last draft. White, Bernard, and Hines. So we'll see. But no, I'm not going to do another mock draft. We don't have too many viewers tonight. We'll see if another stream down the road we'll get a couple more mock drafts going. But one thing I did want to touch on was, and this will just be for anybody who's playing DraftKings this season. Week 1 are up. They're up and ready to go. So if you know me, I've already dissected a lot of this, but we are going to go all in this season on NFL DFS like we did last year. This is just going to be more public. I'll have streams devoted just to DFS, content. I won't give out full lineups. That's a big no-no. But I will definitely give out, my stacks, my core 4, or whatever you want to call it, my guys, my core. I'll do it positionally and then teams. So how you want to do it. But right now, if you're playing MLB, if you're playing golf, if you're playing MMA, if you're even playing preseason NFL, there are tickets. So we call them satellites and qualifiers. So right here, click satellites and qualifiers. You don't have to pay top dollar to get into big time contests. So the Millie Maker, if you go back to all, so the Millie Maker, there's 2 of them for week 1. One of them's $5, one of them is $100. So I already won a $100 ticket off of a $9 satellite. So simple as that. You enter a $9 satellite, you win that, you get a $100 ticket. So you just saved yourself $91 before, and you have a chance against 28,000 people instead of 1.1 million. So you have a better chance of winning. I'm a degenerate, so yeah, I might max out the $5 Millie Maker. I still have to beat 1.1 million people. That's why I always like to get into these bigger contests, not with my own money, but with the tickets. So it helps you get huge paydays by not pay top dollar to get in. So if you look at the 555, there's tickets to get into these contests, and you only have to beat 2,000 people. Granted, these probably 2,000 people are very, very good at DraftKings and very, very good at DFS. So you got to make sure you know your stuff. But that just gives you a better opportunity if you want to go that route. So I wanted to clear the air there. I know I threw that in my Discord, and people didn't know what they were. So I'll tell them to check out the end of the stream here to look it up. I'll probably reiterate that every single DFS stream that I do. But this will be another stream next Monday. We'll go over tight ends. We'll go over wide receivers. and then we'll go through another couple mock drafts as well. Next stream will be Thursday with Buddy. We'll go over the NFC East. And then Sunday we have one. I think it's the NFC South or North. One of those two. And we'll dive in, look at their schedules, and show you any future bets that we like, and any particular fantasy studs that we like in that. But definitely gonna keep going with NFL content. The calendar has turned to August, and we are ready to play some football. We have the Hall of Fame game this Thursday, the 5th. So I don't think there is a showdown for it right here. So we'll see if I got anything for that. It will be pretty light. I probably won't go give out DFS stuff until week 1. But, all right. So if we got any other questions, let me know. DM me. If you want in our Discord, let me know. Me and Buddy Bets. We'll be back on Thursday. Peace.